Chris, what's been the biggest impression that you've seen out there 2 days into spring practice?
Biggest impression, a lot of guys on the team are very driven and hardworking. That's probably the main thing I see that jumps out while I'm out there. Just being able to go out there and see those guys put in work day in and day out. And that's a culture we built here since day one. So a lot of those guys already have that mindset coming in, and the guys that already been here. So that's probably my biggest
Coach
impression.
Smart talked the other day about, turning the page. Last year's last year, this year's this year. Got to build, new chemistry, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, how are you seeing that? And do the players, even ones that were here last year, still think about last year, or are they completely this season?
Well, when you think about it, it's hard to forget last year. We had a pretty special year, and we did a lot of special things and stuff like that. But we know we got to be able to look forward and on to the next, because nothing we did last year is going to carry us through this year. So, we got to put in the same work that we put in last year, build that chemistry, camaraderie, just like we did with those guys last year. We lost a lot, and, we gained a lot, and a lot of great players and stuff like that. So we got to be able to just mesh and come together and gel to be able to do and repeat what we did last year.
On any level, do you feel a little bit like a stranger? You're talking about 19 early enrollees, and then a lot of your class is obviously gone now, the one you came in this early.
Felt like a stranger just a little bit. Like when they first get in, you know how it is. Guys ain't too much comfortable with each other. But being on this team and the guys that we have, we welcome guys in very well. So it ain't take long for me to be able to gel with a lot of the young guys. Like I'm very good friends with a lot of them right now, and that relationship gonna continue to build as long as I'm here.
What went into your decision to come back?
What went into my decision to come back? Ultimately, I wanted to be able to have opportunity to better myself as a player and as a leader. So that was one of my main reasons why I wanted to come back.
How much weight have you put on? You look like I noticed you got a little bit less neck than last time I saw you.
Yeah, you said how much did I put on?
Yeah.
I probably put on about 7-8 pounds since the season, trying to keep it on, packing on, because once we get back to running and stuff like that, it's gonna fall off easy. So I probably put on about 7-8 pounds.
What are your early impressions so far of Coach Brown, just what you've gotten to see?
Coach Brown, he's really cool. He's a really down-to-earth guy. He's going to keep it real with you no matter what, but he wants to see you win, succeed. So that's pretty much my first impression of him. He's really up north. I'm a down south kid, so it's different him being coach, but he's a great guy. And like I said, he kept it real since day one. Like I said, he wants us to succeed. He's pushing these DBs every day in and day out. On the field, he's constantly on everybody to get better. So that's my first impression.
What was his day one message to you guys when he got you in that meeting room for the first time?
Basically the same thing I said.
Really? Okay.
He's going to continue to push us. He's coming in ready to work, ready to learn from us, and we learn from him. So that's pretty much it.
Are you kind of Coach Smith to him, or does he, is he bringing in new stuff and new dialect and strategy, or does he have to learn what you guys do pretty much? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, pretty much everybody that comes in have to learn what we do.
Yeah.
And, but like I said, he's working hard to be able to know those things and stuff like that. It's always a process no matter what. As soon as you come in, especially coming from a different conference, different team, they have different terminologies, different ways they go about things and stuff like that. So it's definitely an acclimation that you have to get used to, but, it's not hard if you really driven and focus on getting better.
Chris, how has it functioned with the co-coordinators, through 2 practices and then, the preparation leading up to spring?
It's functioning really well. Coach Muschamp and Coach Shu, they do a great job with the guys and teaching them the defense and stuff like that. So it's functioning pretty well.
What's been saying yesterday that Jamon Dumas-Johnson, like Hop, is a guy that is always making big plays at practice. Like, how much do you see that from the secondary, whether it's forcing fumbles, making tackles for loss? I mean, what do you see out of him in practice?
Jamon is definitely one of those guys that's a ball guy. He's always looking to get the ball. Like he probably gets the most shots on ball than probably anybody, I want to say. And like I say, he wants that ball no matter what. Like even last year, before practices and stuff like that, this year, he always running on the field like, Chris, get a punch out. So he keeping that in my mind. And to see a guy that young have that kind of mindset about the ball is definitely an amazing sight to see.
From having played with those guys like Monty in the middle and obviously Nakobe, like what characteristics of them do you see in Jamon that maybe you could see him being that next guy to step up?
Yeah, well, like in the linebacker group, they all pretty much got the same mentality. A different personality, but the same mentality. Like, a grit, grind, and that's credit to Coach Shu too. He instills those values in them and be able to play. So they all pretty much the same. That's why they're so good as a unit together. And I expect him to be able to carry on those things that those guys did.
Who's competing next to you? And see moving on. Who are the guys that you're looking at next to you?
We're moving a lot of guys around right now, so I can't really say who's competing right next to me.
to say or you won't say?
Nah.
I mean, you
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
us a bone. Who are some of the young guys back there? that
Some of
we-
the-
yeah, we'll see later this spring.
Some of the young guys back there, you have
guys.
some of the young guys or old guys, David Daniel, Dan Jackson. We got Malachi Starks back there, Corey Thomas. So that's pretty much some of the names. But like I said, we got everybody working back there. Like this is what the spring is all about. Spring is all about being able to move around, figure out what you're good at, what you're bad at, things like that. So.
In what ways does Malachi kind of flash early on?
Malachi, I always sit next to Malachi in the meeting room and stuff, and I try to teach him the defense and stuff like that. And the one thing that really stood out to me is like he always looking to learn and stuff like that. And he's a really athletic kid. He's real down to earth. You could tell he's a good guy and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one of the main things that popped out to me.
We
Somebody,
have 2 more questions for Chris.
somebody mentioned earlier the co-defensive coordinators. What's been the biggest adjustment just from going from last year to this year with the co-coordinator?
Well, I wouldn't really say it's an adjustment because we didn't bring in anybody new. Those are 2 guys that's been here, built relationships with the guys that's been here and things like that. So it's not really an adjustment. You know, obviously we lost Coach Laney. He's a great coach. He going to do big things at Oregon and stuff like that. But we're moving forward with the co-defensive coordinators that we have. So, yeah.
You talked about making your decision to come back. Did you feel like you were coming out of high school again? Was Kirby like recruiting you pretty hard to stay, or did he kind of leave it up to you?
Yeah, he kind of left it up to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I obviously went through the motions. You know, I met with the coaches, met with my parents, other guys, third parties and stuff like that. But ultimately, the decision came down to me. So.